You might have to sneak under. Can you sneak under?
Okay.
You got it.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem, man.
Okay.
Keep up the good work. No, I'm fucking it up.
You're good.
No notifications on my phone after 8 p.m. Having that on my phone so I'm not wanting to opt in to doom scroll over and over and over and over again.
When you're constantly responding to others, you're never taking care of yourself.
You'll wake up and you'll find yourself in someone's funnel and you'll go, am I in this funnel right now? I think self-accountability is a huge thing. Agents have a tendency to kind of point the finger at everyone but themselves. They will say, well, I don't have business because of X, Y, and Z.
It ultimately comes down to what you do on a daily basis. No one else is to blame.
The finish line is the only thing that matters.
Absolutely. And that line represents what is the most important business activity or business venture that you have. And you're choosing to take your time to do something that is worth $200 an hour of revenue. Yeah. You're actually losing $800 an hour. And you don't even know it.
No.
Well, I'm packing up my game and I'ma head out west.
Hey, welcome to the All or Nothing Real Estate Podcast live from Dallas, Texas, where we're on mission to contribute to the real estate community every single day. I'm Blake Suddath.
And I'm Parker Pemberton, and we're sitting on the balcony of the Virgin Hotel, as Blake said, in Dallas, Texas. We're about to go into the top 250 meeting, top 250 teams and agents at EXP are here, corporate's here, everyone from EXP is here.
It's going to be a great day. It is a little cold. I thought it was going to be a little bit more warmer out here. It was nice yesterday. It's like 70 degrees, which is a big shake up from home, but it's a little chilly right now, so this might be a quick episode.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's inside the window here talking about how tough we are, but we're just trying to stick it out.
Yeah. Just no jackets, no anything.
What are we talking about today, Blake?
Well, we were at the gym this morning and we were talking about this common theme continues to come up. We had some great conversations yesterday, but ultimately it kind of boiled down to, well, you and I kind of talked about doing everything but the thing. Human beings, team leaders, real estate agents, we kind of get caught up in this this new idea or this new shiny object or this new way of making money. And we kind of forget what got us to the dance, or we just like, man, that sounds like a lot of fun, and it distracts us. And I said, we should really talk about everything but the thing, doing everything but the thing. And so I wanted to talk about that.
Yeah, we had a really good conversation about kind of the early years of real estate, coming up as an agent and then developing into team leaders and developing into owners. And our job is to help real estate agents succeed. And so usually the number one thing that I see is agents just get distracted. They get in their own way. And I always tell them, look, the entire world is designed to distract us. Social media today points to the finger and you can open any app that you want on your phone and everybody is trying to sell you something. There's 100 shiny objects per day in your face and everybody wants to, make money. And I think about the old days of real estate. When I was a kid growing up with my dad, who this is pre-internet, so they had the MLS book. None of that existed. You weren't influenced on a minute-by-minute basis in the past like you are now with the internet, and it's just increasing more and more. Look at the emergence, I was thinking about it this morning, of like Reels and how we just scroll on our phones.
Doom scrolling.
Yeah, so real estate agents, if you're listening to this, look, this is just human nature. Like, this is in our face, and it takes a conscious effort every day to say, what are the most important activities? What is going to move the needle forward? And what do I need to commit to doing to have success in this business?
It kind of reminds me, I think you commented on the same post, I forget who it was, but she had said something along the lines of, what's one decision you've made recently that changed your life? And I commented a couple things, or changed your life for the better. And I put no notifications on my phone after 8 p.m. Sometimes I break that. However, but having that on my phone so I'm not wanting to opt in to doom scroll over and over and over and over again, because in that instance, everything but the thing, I need to be sleeping. I need to be getting rest so I can wake up, bounce out of bed the next day and be my best version of myself the next morning. And just having notifications pinging until midnight or responding to people just doesn't serve anyone.
No, when you're constantly responding to others, you're never taking care of yourself. And like you guys make fun of me for always being on Do Not Disturb, like 24/7. But it's because there's things coming at me all the time. And if I'm constantly reacting to other people, I'm never going to get the most important things done. Even my voicemail. Have you heard my voicemail?
Yeah, you just updated it.
It's not to be a tough guy.
No.
It says, hey, if you're listening to this, please do not leave me a voicemail. Send me a text message instead. This is Parker. Thank you for your call. And it's because on a daily basis before I made this change, I would have 25 voicemails from 612-952 numbers. And a lot of it is spam, but if I don't listen to it, it could be a client or an agent or an important phone call. And it took me 20 minutes a day to get through that.
That's a lot of time. Let's break this down. Agents, everything but the thing. What are the things as agents should we be focusing on?
There's three things. The most important, number one, hands down, is prospecting. It's finding, it's lead acquisition, lead generation. It's where are you going to find your clients? And every day that we wake up as realtors, we make $0 unless we sell something. So that has to be the priority. Number two is face-to-face appointments. That is the second best use of your time. And third is writing contracts and negotiating contracts. Those are the three highest paid activities in real estate. And so what we say and what we teach is that you need to swallow the frog. You know what that means?
Yeah, do the hardest thing right away.
Yeah, which is when your mind is the most active. It's when you have the most energy. It's when you're the most motivated. And what that looks like is, you get up, go through your morning routine, whatever that is. Like, you don't have to be the ice bather and the meditator. Like, you can be a normal person too. But when you get into work mode, focus for an hour or 2 hours.
I found that right away in the morning, waking up, doing my simple routine before I get out the door, I have like 30 minutes of just this. Work is the simplest, and it is just attack mode right away. It is so easy to do it, and people have judged me like, oh, you shouldn't work, you shouldn't do this right away in the morning, but I'm like, that's when I'm firing the best, and I would rather do that than not.
Yeah, so if you want to increase your business, the only thing that you need to be focused on is how can you put yourself in front of a computer to focus on lead generation, on having conversations with people. And it doesn't mean you need to, knock the phone book down. Like, you don't have to be on dialers and cold calling. Like, this is a relationship game. Texting is great. Videos are great. Connecting one-on-one with, face-to-face or coffees. Those are the things that are going to keep the relationships in your life moving. And as a real estate agent, that's key. So what I think is between the hours of 9 and noon, you need to be focused behind a computer, phoned on Do Not Disturb. And I like to say put your phone on a pedestal so if somebody does call, you can answer it. And get focused work done.
That's great. So those are the things. Everything but. Let's just do a couple.
Well, let's just go a little further if you don't mind. What happens if you do a really good job of doing that?
I would say keep going.
Of course, keep going.
Yeah.
Never stop.
No.
Unless you're so successful from your prospecting that you have too many face-to-face appointments that now you're just going on face-to-face appointments around the clock. What most people do is they have success and they will set a couple appointments and then they'll stop doing the first thing that got them there in the first place. So what I always say is save the afternoons and evenings for your face-to-faces, but guard that morning time so that you can continue to do the activities that it takes to set the higher appointments. And through time and years in this business, as you help more and more people buy and sell homes, you will start getting referrals and you'll pick up momentum and your brand will travel and all of a sudden the time will start to shrink because you'll be meeting more and more people.
That's really good. Set appointments, go on appointments. Eat that frog right in the morning. Everything but, and we'll just do a couple of them. I'll start off. I think self-accountability is a huge thing, changing over and over and over again. I think agents have a tendency to kind of point the finger at everyone but themselves. I can say this because I've done it in the past. They will say, well, I don't have business because of X, Y, and Z, right? And so I think one of the things that is everything but the thing that you just talked about is my brokerage doesn't do this, that's why I'm not seeing success. My team doesn't do this, that's why I'm not seeing success. My accountability partner. is doing this, so I'm not seeing the market is this, right? And so I think those are everything but those things you talked about. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, and what I would recommend to anybody that is in that mode or that mindset is to turn yourself around and say, look in the mirror and say, what can I do to influence this situation for the better? What can I do to help that person? What can I do to help my marriage? What can I do to generate more? Like, it ultimately comes down to what you do on a daily basis. No one else is to blame, and it doesn't matter what brand is behind you. Like, you know, you have to stay focused on the thing that matters the most. But in this business, I think it is really easy to do that because of the first thing we said, all of the distractions and the sales pitches and the low-hanging fruit and just the tendencies of human nature in general.
Yeah, you'll wake up and you'll find yourself in someone's funnel and you'll go, am I in this funnel right now?
Absolutely.
Yeah, little joke there. But, okay, team leaders. Let's do team leaders real quick and then we'll wrap this thing up.
I think the most important thing that you can do each day as a team leader is to lead yourself first. So right out of the gates, are you putting yourself in a position to be able to lead others? Or are you a mess? Because if you're a mess, how can you possibly expect other people to want to be led by you?
It's good.
You have to hold yourself to a very high standard if you want to be in leadership. And you will see a direct result of that. And if you are listening to this and you're running a 5-person team, 10-person team, 30-person team, look at the struggles you've had. And again, turn it back on yourself. What could you have done differently to better lead them? And as it grows, it just becomes even more important. But number 2, always be attracting the best agents. You are in the business of attraction. Yes, you are running a real estate business, but you are in the business of attraction. And staying small as a team will eventually run its course. And we were just talking to a couple downstairs about this.
Yeah.
4 agents, do a bunch of deals. Average per agent productivity is 24. And what did she say? One of the agents got pregnant earlier this year. You know, what happens to her business? Well, 1/4 of her business leaves the team.
Congratulations. However, objectively,
Yes.
those sales are probably going to go.
Well, and in that team leader situation too, you should be celebrating that agent having this milestone moment in their life, not saying, oh shit, how do I replace him in an instant? Like, you should always be looking for the next great agent to join you. And everything from your marketing efforts to the way that you act day to day should be leading people into that funnel.
Yeah, great point. And that I think is the goal of leadership, is to build people past yourselves, right? You're wanting them to grow into leaders themselves within your organization. The distraction, I think, personally, historically for me, has been doing everything but the thing is, well, am I going all in on being team leader, or am I still focusing on sales? Am I going all in on growing the team, or now am I trying to be speaker coach guy? Am I going all in? You see what I'm saying? Like,
Yep.
And the only people I suffer in this, but my team suffers because of it too. And they don't deserve that. They deserve the best version of the team leader themselves. And so for me, that was everything but the thing.
So really good points. And again, it's the industry distracting us from the main goal, right? And this makes me think of not necessarily the actual selling system, straight line selling, Jordan Belfort, Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah.
It's a good book from a sales perspective. You can think he's a shitty guy because he is, and he's done a lot of bad things. But straight line selling leads you down the path, and whenever you try to get distracted off that path, it brings you back onto your path. And so what I think of is like almost a racehorse where they've got the blinders on.
Yeah.
And everything to the side is it's not accessible to their vision.
It
right?
doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. They can't see behind them. They can't see to the sides. The only thing they can see is straight forward.
The finish line is the only thing that matters.
Absolutely. And that line represents what is the most important business activity or business venture that you have. So if your team is, let's just for even math, saying your team brings in $1,000 an hour, and we're going off of we're going off of gross revenue divided by 2,000, which is approximately 40 hours per week over 52 weeks. And you're choosing to take your time to do something that is worth $200 an hour of revenue, you're actually losing $800 an hour. And you don't even know it.
No.
Because you're getting distracted from the main goal, which is continue to build the revenue of that $1,000 an hour company and get that to 2,000 and 5,000 and 10,000. And in theory, you don't have to take the side gigs at that point if you are actually straight lined, focused on what is forward.
And I think often it comes from a heart of not wanting to get distracted, obviously, but it comes from like, oh, I'm pretty sure this will help grow the business. I'm doing it as like, oh, this will be great for the agents. This will be great for myself. This will be great for the business. But ultimately, find what works. Don't get distracted. Do more of that. And no, that's great. The dollar per hour thing, that's huge. And running people through that, I think that's a great next step that people should figure that out and how to do that.
Yeah. Well, look, I'm getting actually kind of cold up here, and we got to get inside. The one thing that I'll say is that, again, this is human nature. Everybody is susceptible to getting distracted on a daily basis, and it has to be a conscious effort that you make always to stay on that path forward. And, we've done that, not forever, but we've done a good job of that the last 3 or 4 years. And look at the trajectory of Pemberton Homes. It's been like a hockey stick because we've continued to just go straight forward into that goal. But to reiterate, the previous 6 years, we just saw minimal growth, very incremental growth.
Very steady.
Because we were probably getting distracted and we weren't going all in on the 3 most important things. So anyway, I wanted to mention that.
No, that's great. That's a great note to end on. Listen, guys, if you found value in today's show, give it a thumbs up, give it a like, subscribe, follow Parker and I on social media. If you have questions or comments or anything you want to see on the show or know on the show, all or nothing real estate podcast at gmail.com. Drop your questions there. We look forward to seeing you on the next episode. Have a good one and take it easy, guys.
Well, I'm packing up my game and I'ma head out west.